Mercedes-Maybach just did something nobody at Rolls-Royce or Bentley saw coming. They renamed their flagship SUV, gave it more power than ever, and quietly dared the entire ultra-luxury segment to catch up. So the question isn't whether the GLS 680 is impressive, it's this: did Mercedes just build the most dangerous SUV a Cullinan buyer could cross-shop? Or is this the smartest repositioning move Maybach has made in a decade? By the end of this video, you're going to have a strong opinion on whether this SUV actually threatens the Rolls-Royce Cullinan and the Bentley Bentayga, or whether it's just a badge change wearing a bigger price tag. I want to hear which side you land on. If you're new here, this is Car Zoomer, where we break down the vehicles that are about to reshape their segments before anyone else is talking about them. And this one's a genuine naming shift, not just a facelift. The Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600 is dead. For 2027, it's the GLS 680, and that number jump isn't cosmetic. This SUV now sits directly in the crosshairs of the Bentley Bentayga EWB, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and even BMW's XM, all fighting for the same ultra-wealthy buyer who wants a chauffeur-driven back seat and a badge that says they've already won. Start at the front, because Mercedes clearly wanted you to. The grille is bigger now, wrapped in an illuminated surround with an illuminated Maybach badge sitting proud above it and an illuminated Mercedes star anchoring the whole face. At night, this thing basically announces itself before headlights even hit it. Compare that to the Cullinan's more understated Pantheon grille. Rolls-Royce still plays it quiet, Mercedes just turned the volume all the way up. The headlights carry a new star-studded daytime running light signature, something you won't find on the outgoing 600 or on anything from Bentley's current lineup. This isn't lighting designed to help you see the road better, it's designed to make sure everyone else sees you first. Move to the side profile and the proportions stay familiar. This is still a full-size GLS underneath, but the detailing is where Maybach earns its name. Standard 22-inch wheels come on every GLS 680, with optional 23-inch units finished in a floating emblem design, where the center cap stays perfectly upright no matter how fast the wheel spins. Bentley offers something similar on the Bentayga, but Mercedes ships it as more accessible spec, not a rare option box. Around back, new taillights and a new bumper round out the changes. Nothing shocking here, this is where Maybach plays it safer, letting the front end do the talking. And that's really the story of this exterior. It's not trying to out-design the Cullinan's sculptural presence, it's trying to outshine it, literally, with light. Inside is where the real fight happens. While the Bentayga impresses with tech-forward digital displays and the Cullinan impresses with sheer material theater, starline headliners, hand-stitched everything, the GLS 680 does neither. It does craftsmanship at scale. Every GLS 680 goes through dedicated Maybach production stations at the Tuscaloosa, Alabama plant, where specially trained technicians hand-finish Napa leather and wood trim before the vehicle even reaches final assembly. That's the differentiator nobody talks about. This isn't a limited-run, crew-built product like a Bentley. It's American-built, at genuine production scale, with manufacturer-level personalization options that let buyers spec interiors closer to bespoke than anything at this price point from a mainstream luxury brand. And this is where it stops being a design exercise and becomes a genuine value argument. You're not paying Rolls-Royce money for Rolls-Royce scarcity, you're paying roughly Bentley money for craftsmanship that used to only exist above the $200,000 ceiling. Under the hood, the GLS 680 runs a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. Mercedes calls it the M177 Evo, paired with a second-generation 48-volt mild hybrid system. Total output lands at 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque, up 53 horsepower and 89 pound-feet over the outgoing GLS 600, with the electric motor chipping in an extra 23 horsepower during acceleration. All of it runs through a 9-speed automatic and standard 4MATIC all-wheel drive with a revised, more direct steering ratio for sharper response. So does that power actually justify calling this dangerous to the segment? On paper, yes. The Cullinan's twin-turbo V12 still edges it in outright smoothness, but the GLS 680 closes the power gap while undercutting Rolls-Royce pricing by a significant margin. That's the real threat here, not raw numbers. Mercedes hasn't confirmed final 2027 pricing yet, but the outgoing GLS 600 started around $181,000 before options, with real-world dealer listings routinely landing between $209,000 and $223,000 once buyers start speccing manufacturer packages. Even with the GLS 680's power increase, expect pricing to stay in that same territory, which puts it tens of thousands below where a Bentley Bentayga EWB starts, and well over $150,000 below where a Rolls-Royce Cullinan begins. That's the differentiator Rolls-Royce and Bentley can't answer quickly: reliability and running costs. A Cullinan's ownership costs and depreciation curve are notoriously punishing for anyone outside ultra-high net worth territory, while Mercedes-Maybach ownership plugs into a global dealer and service network that neither Rolls-Royce nor Bentley can match for convenience. But here's what nobody's talking about. Mercedes didn't just add horsepower for this refresh, they rebuilt the sensor suite entirely, with 10 exterior cameras, 5 radar sensors, and 12 ultrasonic sensors, feeding a dedicated high-performance computer, pushing this SUV's driver assistance beyond baseline Level 2 standards. That's a genuinely different tier of technology than what's sitting inside a Cullinan right now. So where does the GLS 680 actually win? It wins on value-adjusted luxury, genuine hand-finished craftsmanship, and real production scale for tens of thousands less than its closest rivals, backed by a dealer network neither Bentley nor Rolls-Royce can match. Where it risks falling short is prestige itself. Badge snobbery is real at this price point, and there will always be buyers who want the spirit of ecstasy on the hood, regardless of what's underneath it. So did Mercedes just build the smartest ultra-luxury SUV of the decade, or the one serious buyers will still overlook for the badge? You tell me.